Can I ask you something, Miss Evelyn? Do you know what her pain is? Because the only reason a person would behave in this manner,
we're not going to throw this behavior word around again. We're not going to do that. She does not have a behavior problem, and that's not fair.
First of all, your finger in my face is not going to work for me.
But the name calling is not going to work for me. Because I don't appreciate you keep throwing out these names. That is what about my disrespect? All I have been is disrespectful.
Tamar.
I've been called. Wait a minute!
So tell me this. What if Tamar was never the real issue to begin with? What if the person causing the most trouble in the Braxton family has been Missy the whole time? Because baby, things are getting real messy again in that household. And once more, Tamar is right in the center of the chaos. Every time Tamar shows up on social media for anything, people instantly turn on her. They call her dramatic, say she's attention-seeking, and claim she has a long history of holding grudges. But Tamar is done letting folks spin everything on her. According to her, the reason she is the way she is comes straight from her mother. Now how about that? For a while, Tamar has been speaking out about her mental health and her healing process. And she's hinted more than once that her mother's bitterness, especially toward their dad, affected her deeply. Tamar says that growing up around that energy is one of the reasons she still struggles today.
Letting your mother run your life.
How dare he try to tell me how to raise my kids after he have abandoned us? He has some nerve.
Y'all have lives to live yourself, and she can't run her life, her home, and your home too.
You know what? Had you been home long enough to help me to raise them, it wouldn't be such a problem. But where were you?
What
Out there in the street,
What did you do
doing
all
whatever
day?
you were
What
big
did you
enough
do
to
all day long?
What did you do?
What did
And
you do?
I mean, let's be honest. Tamar has already shown us everything there is to see and hear from her. From the ups and downs with Vince to the drama with JRB, to clashing with her sisters, to practically setting every bridge she's ever walked on fire. She's done it all. And this year, she pushed things even further by throwing Funky Deneva into the mess, hinting that she might have been targeted after a night out, or even worse, allegedly messing around with some of Tony's men.
Steal anything.
You don't. You sold men.
Who's the man that I stole?
Tony's. You slept with them.
Oh,
a few times.
Who? What man?
You not get the lead.
Oh, dirty low down ass bitch.
Oh, you such a liar. Such a liar.
It was cute when she acted like this years ago. It even made her the fan favorite during the early seasons of Braxton Family Values. But every year, Tamar does something that leaves people shocked, and folks are simply getting tired of the toxic patterns. She's always talking about being on a healing journey, but child, most people think she's gotten worse, with some even saying, Tamar really needs help. She's draining and needs to be loved from a distance. Tamar never believes she's wrong. She always feels targeted and refuses to see how harsh she can be. She's almost 50 and still falls out with everyone. She's not changing anytime soon. Tamar being dramatic isn't exactly a surprise, but many are saying she needs to pull back now or risk losing whatever positive image she has left. But like always, Tamar won't let anyone talk about her unchecked. And in true Tamar style, she's pointing fingers at everyone but herself, especially at her mother, Miss Evelyn. All the sisters carry some level of resentment and unhealed bitterness, but Tamar is the only one who ever speaks on it publicly. And now, for the first time, she's directly linking her behavior to how she was raised. Her whole life, she watched her mother struggle to let things go and cling tightly to grudges, especially over how Evelyn's marriage ended with her ex-husband, Michael Braxton.
Evelyn could say some things out her mouth that are really cutting.
But your daughters are being held emotionally hostage to your ex-wife's bitterness towards you. You and her need to get on the same side of the table and free those girls. Because the elephant in the room that nobody will talk about is Evelyn Braxton's attitude.
I mean, it's been over 20 years since Evelyn and Michael divorced after his cheating, but Evelyn's bitterness toward him is still on a whole different level. And according to Tamar, that resentment shaped everything: how she and her sisters deal with hurt, how they handle relationships, and even how they treat each other. They didn't just see their mother's anger, they absorbed it.
I don't even think they look at me as a sister. They don't like me. We were very close as kids, very close as young adults, and now where we are in our lives, that relationship no longer serves us. And I would hate to keep arguing with them and keep building negative memories instead of building and relying and thinking of the good memories that we had.
Even Tony, who looks the most classy and polished, is just as messy. She just hides it better. And honestly, Evelyn has always had her own toxic, controlling side. During the divorce, she literally made the kids choose a side, and anyone who stayed close to their father paid for it. That's why Evelyn and Trauchi never really got along. Because Trauchi kept a relationship with Michael since she lived near him in Maryland, and Evelyn did not like that. She reportedly held that grudge all the way until Trauchi passed. But Tamar, being the youngest, sided with her mom completely. She didn't move without asking Evelyn first, and that's what fed the codependency and created a whole new set of problems.
Everything she said she thought was right.
Pitiful lie, too.
And as long as you agree with her, she's fine. And it's the same thing with y'all. If y'all don't agree with her, she is pissed. And it's time for y'all to stop letting your mother run your life.
According to Tamar, it wasn't just the bitterness and resentment her mom passed down. Evelyn also loved hearing herself talk and always thought she was right about everything. If Tamar had a different opinion, her mother was quick to shut it down, expecting Tamar and her sisters to follow her lead. It's tough for any of the sisters, especially Tamar, to push back because of the guilt tied to constantly being reminded that Evelyn raised all 6 of them on her own after Michael Seoster left. That's the environment Tamar grew up in. And even after more than 20 years, very little has changed. Evelyn still carries that deep anger, and it often spills onto her daughters.
Let me know if you're picking up what I'm putting down. So looking at Tina Knowles and her, and looking at Evelyn Braxton and her girl, it's proof to me that forgiveness or unforgiveness and bitterness can trickle down to your kids. I feel like Tina knows the reason why Solange and Beyonce are able to persevere and press through adversity with grace and poise. I know this is a weird way to put it, but Beyonce and Solange was able to see their parents go through a healthy divorce. Even Miss Tina acknowledged they did not go back and forth. And honestly, she had every reason to be bitter and not forgive him for having an outside baby. And then on the other hand, we can look at Miss Evelyn Braxton and see why her daughters are still on each other's neck in their 40s and 50s.
And honestly, people are siding with Tamar because it's easy to see how Evelyn Braxton set the example for disrespect and how her behavior affected Tamar over the years. I'm thinking of making a list of villains people don't usually recognize, and starting with Evelyn Braxton is a no-brainer. Evelyn represents so many toxic moms out there who raised us to become mentally scarred women pretending everything's perfect. The Braxton family has always had its drama, and Evelyn is the main reason, holding control over her kids and forcing them to stay united despite their issues. The sisters don't always get along, and Tamar ends up being the scapegoat because of her personality and outspoken nature. But what do y'all think? Sound off in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you in the next video. Baddies!